2 years ago.
Yep.
And running very strongly, third in the class this year, behind the two Longhurst entries.
Alan Jones up the hill in the little M3, Evolution 2, and what a fabulous little car it is. 4-cylinder, 2.5 litre twin-cam fuel injected, 5-speed gearbox, massive brakes for its size, 10-inch wide tyres, which is the same as Sierra, but it's got a lot less power, 350 brake horsepower for 960 kilos. A dynamic little package, and an excellent power-to-weight ratio too, of 3.3 kilograms per kilowatt. Very hard lugging this car up the hill, as opposed to the big 500 and 600 horsepower cars. But it's quick and consistent, and that was a little bit of bad luck when they got that flat tyre, because up till then, they've been looking very strong.
Take it away, John Harvey.
It's looking pretty good. A very, very quick stop, and off goes the final stop of the race. There was no problems at all, that Mike.
23 seconds. That's a pretty quick pit stop. They've been spot on with their stops today. Percy rejoins, still in second spot. Lap number 140 of 161, the Glen Seaton Sierra, was running 8th in the pits. Engine has been off song since Glenn took over the car from Greg Hansford. They're trying to do some running repairs on the car. And climbing into the car is Glenn's father, Barry. The look of disappointment showing on Glenn's face.
Barry Seaton's seen some changes at Bathurst over the years. Won the race back in 65 in an old Cortina, and is quite staggered at the level of professionalism in touring car racing at the moment.
And father and son have shared a car before, but not in this manner. John Harvey's on the spot. Doesn't look too good, John.
No, it doesn't, Gary. As a matter of fact, I think they're unsure what's the matter with it. They've checked all of the leads, all of the electrical connections, and then they've stopped and had a discussion. Now they've turned the engine off, and I think it's obviously going to be a very lengthy stop.
Yeah, picture without words. Even if you didn't have commentary, you could see what's going on here. The absolute disappointment in Glen Seaton's face. He's put a lot of effort into this race. Certainly had very high hopes.
And that lap record, by the way, has gone to Mark Scaife. He is in the number 2 car. They're trying to get it back into the top 10. Let's go across to our pit studio with Sandy Roberts and a disappointed Neil Crompton.
Yes, thank you, Gary. Glen Seaton is not the only one disappointed today. As you mentioned, Neil Crompton and his saga has been pretty well chronicled, I'm sorry to have to say, Neil. Not a good day at the office eventually.
No, it's just been one of those days, I guess, Sandy. You have them in motorsport, you have them in all sports, and I guess business as well. And there's no point carrying on like a girl, is there? You just have to keep grinning and bearing it and try and do a better job next time. I guess it was a little frustrating, and we felt we had a very good package. We got off to a pretty tough start, as I think most people know. Yeah. But part of the process that you go through to try and succeed in this caper is to keep on stepping back up and hit the ball, so I'm going to have to get back up there again.
Neil, thanks for your time. Bad luck today, but of course you'll be back again and bigger and better than ever.
Hopefully. Look forward to it. Thanks,
Let's
Sandy.
go back to the boys.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Cromley. Very good. Bad luck. Seaton rejoined in 11th posse. Well, if Nissan have come up smiles today, the Tony Longhurst attack seems to have petered out. Alan Jones steps from the 25 car. We'll have an update shortly from our boys in the pits, but they're ready to put this one behind the wall. Jones pitted while in 4th place. The GIO car, the Nissan, also in the pits, was running in 3rd, and it has now fired up and gone down pit lane. Jonesy's been there. John Harvey just moving in to have a chat to him to find out what actually went wrong with the car. Here's the 30 Peter Jackson car. Glen Seaton has tried to crank one more lap out of it. It won't respond. John Harvey is with AJ at the moment. John?
Thank you, Mike. Yes, Alan Jones, the car's been running very, very strongly all day, and then all of a sudden, bang, out. Terminal, is it?
Well, it wasn't missing a beat. It was all the temperatures and pressures were just absolutely perfect, and I think it must be electrics because it just stopped dead. Just lost everything. I've coasted back in to the pits, and I think that's for the day, but it's disappointing because it was just running like clockwork, as usual.
So obviously there's no chance of changing some electrics, computers or anything like that?
Well, there may be, but I think there's only 25 laps to go, so it might be a bit optimistic.
The Nissan car number 2 now came into the pits, position number 9.
Mark Scaife has vacated the driving seat and no one is getting in. So there's problems here. Looking at the braking system of the car. And, oh, here we are. Plenty of that black gold. pouring out from the bottom of the number 2 GTR. So something, it appears, in the rear transmission, like the diff.
Let's go down to the pits and see what's happening.
Yeah, it's fairly disappointing. It just keeps missing as soon as you put the throttle down, and it's just losing so much time, and you just can't drive it, really. So I really thought we were going to do well today, but I suppose I've got to wait till next year.
Word from the pits was that car 2 suffered a drive shaft failure. It's probably not a good indicator to the lead car, because Mark Scape was absolutely wringing its neck. I think he did a 2:14.88 lap time, which is a new lap record for the race, so he was driving it absolutely 10 tenths. I think you'll find Jimmy will be stroking this thing along at the moment. But it'll be nervous times for Freddie Gibson. He did say 20 laps to go, and they're not home yet by a long shot.
Well, there's the number 1 car that dictates the pace. As we check out the Caltex race score, Richards and Scaife leading in the Nissan GTR. Percy and Grice, the defending champions, run in second. Gibson, Onslow and the GIO Nissan GTR run third. Brancatelli and Charlie O'Brien in the Synovus Vitamin Sierra run in fourth. Fifth is Radicic and Shield. Position number 6, Fitzgerald and Denny Holm in the B&H BMW. Kevin Waldock and Brett Peters, great effort that, up to 7th. 8th is Bond and Crosby in the Caltex Sierra. 9th, the number 30 car, it's just dropped out, and that moves now Tim and Alf Grant. One more spot. Oh, that's shades of last year, isn't that bad luck? Dave Barrow.
These guys
clouded that on the wall, hasn't turned, and now the 43 car. Straight off into the sand trap.
Goodness me. These two cars had a heck of a day.
Brian Bolwell, who put the package together, has wound up with some rather expensive repair bills. Queensland Plastics entry. Bad luck to Brian as we take our race cam. Sitting on top of Colin Bond's Caltex Sierra, car number 8.
Car 8 running in position 8. So Bondi sitting in the top 10 for most of the day. Had a few problems earlier on, but managed to get it together, and the car seemingly running reliably now. And there's our other race cam looking down the side of the Sierra, which gives you a good idea of the tyre distortions and how much the wheels move and the car slides around on the surface of the track. Holman Fitzgerald continue in the one surviving B&H BMW.
They're running 6th outright too.
Well, one of them's hung together. And this is a good effort from these guys.
7th spot held by Kevin Waldock and Brett Peters. That's another great effort from them.
Peter Fitzgerald in the car at this stage, renowned as the Australian production car king. He's won the title twice.
Well, Johnny Brady is down in the pits. He's only one of 4 guys. I've been bringing you all the info all day. And Mark Scaife is standing next to him.
Yeah, you talk about young blokes who've had a good day. Mark Scaife, it must be one of the most nervous set of 7 laps you're going to sit through now.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's probably the most nervous 6 or 7 laps anybody could ever have. You know, I'm sure it's probably more nervous for Richo. He's starting to hear noises and all those things. But he's done a fantastic job, and I hope we win it for him.
You've both done a fantastic job with it. Going into today, it must have been frightening, the pressure on you, because everybody knew you were so fast. Everyone's expecting you to go out and do what you've done so far. But knowing that all that pressure was on you must have been hard to live up to.